Now that we have our document set up, we need to go ahead and get our rubric filled out. So there's a lot of different ways we can do this, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to come up here. It gives you an option to have a live preview of things. And we're just going to select Johnny here. And we're going to use my email address so I can show you what this email address looks like later. Okay, let's say we listened to Johnny's presentation, and let's say we said he would give him an 18, and he fulfilled all the requirements. And we come down here, and we just start to select the things that he did. So he met all the requirements. Maybe he needed to spend more time on the presentation. And this allows us to add any comment that we want to that's not predetermined. So if you didn't read that when I was typing, okay, you did a good job with eye contact. Next time, rehearse the words of your script a little more. Keep getting better. And then I click submit. Now, I will say this. The neat thing about using your phone on these is when I send this to myself on my phone, I can use the text or the speech to text option. So instead of typing that out, I will just say the words. It makes things a lot faster. So I'm going to click submit. And there we go. And so what's going to happen here is I'm going to come back over to the actual Google form. There's one response. And the one part we need to be in is the spreadsheet. So I'm going to go ahead and create a spreadsheet of this. And you can see there's the email address, the student, or the person who filled it out, that's me. There's the email of the student. We have the enthusiasm grade, the requirements, and then we have the comments here. So if you read that, there are all the comments that were given. And what we're going to do here on this is, if you remember back on our form here, we have two things that are not a part of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to add two columns to this spreadsheet here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight two, right click, insert two columns to the right. If I only right click once, so for instance, if I only right click, I'll have to do this twice, so I might as well highlight two and get it over with. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a simple equation here. Okay, we're going to add these two cells together. So I push equals, and Google does a fantastic job of trying to figure out what you want to do. So it tells you, you can tell by that orange circle there. Okay, so the student got 28 points. Now the next one we're going to do, because we're going to call this total. Next one we're going to call grade, because we want to show them the percent of the grade that they got. So what we'll do then, to start a formula again, we'll go equals. And then instead of me having to plug 28 in, let's say I change a grade. I won't have to do this every single time. So I'm just going to select the cell and click the divide button and type in the number 30 because that's the amount of points. Click enter. Okay, and so what happens is it gives me a 93, but just to make it even better, I'm going to make it a percent. And I'm not a fan of decimals, so I'll just do this right here. And that student has a 93. So let's fill out another one here. Let's say I go through and I grade, let's say Sarah's. And that's the email we're going to use, okay? And let's say she had a 20, but she only had a 7 when it came to requirements. If we go back to the rubric and we look at it. So your presentation, and then we say something like, next time, presentation was really good, but next time read all the requirements, okay, and I click submit. And as soon as I do that, I can come back over to the spreadsheet, and there is Sarah's grade right here. Now notice, nothing is in these two columns. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to select both of these cells. This is called a fill handle, and drag it down. And it filled in the grades for both of them. So if you look here, the equation, okay, it adds those two cells together. This one divides G3, okay, by 30, and it comes out to 90%, okay? And that's the typical setup of the spreadsheet.